welcome back to Talk Seagulls, and we're here at the Caxton Arms again, and we've actually won multiple games now. Coming back to this, and it's like, oh my God, it's a positive podcast for a long time. But yeah, I'm joined in a three-way podcast today. What great turnout today, actually. We've got Jamie, cameraman, we've got Mia as well. We've got two on the podcast next to me, Luke and Brett. How are you feeling on this Monday morning? Brett, you feeling good?
Yeah, it's good. Off the back of a win, and especially against Liverpool, which is one of the teams I grew up hating. So it's amazing.
You grew up hating them. I still hate them. What a win. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely great.
Yeah, what a win. What a last couple of games, to be fair. I mean, we didn't do the Sunderland game, so we've had a bit of a break again. But to be honest, I think it's come at quite a nice time because I like to sort of take time between games now. I think because I felt like for a long time we're doing the same podcast over and over again. We're saying the same things, whereas now we're actually talking about a lot of different stuff. A lot, especially in that Liverpool game, there's a lot of good stuff to talk about. I thought pretty much from the start of the game onwards, it was a very good game. And for me, I don't know about you, Luke, but since the Hertzler era, I think that's probably the best game I've seen in tactically under him.
Yeah, I think we actually had, for one, actually a bit of intensity, and we could counter-attack for the first time ever. I was so surprised. We're actually going forward, and each time we were going forward, I felt like we might actually score, which is never what I feel like whenever we have like a counter-attack.
Yeah.
I think the first half we were a little bit lackluster, but the second half we just were miles a better team and deserved to be about five or six goals up by the end of it because Liverpool were poor. I mean, we'll get into that, but yeah, Liverpool were poor.
Yeah, that was the thing that annoyed me, is that we didn't score more where we should have done. But like the first half, it wasn't as intense. We were really comfortable, and we just gifted them a goal. We let them in, but there was no way they were in the game at all until that mistake happened. But then the rest of the game, the second half especially, unreal.
Yeah. We were just so good.
I think it's the most complete performance under Hertzler probably in his tenure, I think.
Well, since that first goal went in for us, obviously we took the lead, and it was a great goal. Just to say, it was the header across from Gomez was great. The finish from Welbeck was very good. The defending from Kunate, I was convinced we'd signed him on loan. I thought he was helping us out that game. He was diabolical, especially when you watch the highlights back. You realise how often he was out of position. It was insane. But yeah, Liverpool were very poor. I've got to say they were terrible. But I thought we capitalised pretty well. The first half, I don't think we were lacklustre. I think we started okay, and then I think we took the lead against the run of play for a bit, and then they kind of just dominated possession. I think maybe they were going to score at some point, and the way the goal came about was unfortunate. But I thought after that, from pretty much after Kirkus's goal, I thought we were the better team, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, we as you say, we did score against the run of play. We didn't really have anything up until that. I mean, it's only like 15 minutes in.
Yeah, nothing much happened.
We didn't really offer anything up until that point. But you could see Liverpool were on the ropes. I still thought they were a better team in the first half, but you could see they were on the ropes. The amount of loose passes they were making, and even our goal came from a loose pass that went straight out for a throw-in. And that, I think, happened like 3 or 4 times in the space of about 2 minutes.
True.
Yeah. And they were, they did dominate possession. They didn't create a whole lot.
No.
But I think we defended really, really well. I know, obviously, people will come at Dunk for what happened, but he's done that 1,000 times. And every single time, it's been completely fine. You want him to do that, really. Yeah. It was just good play from Kirkes. And it was a pretty nice finish, let's be honest. Yeah. Let's not take anything away from him, but yeah, it was just. I mean, again, yeah. First half, we were comfortable. I wouldn't say we were amazing, but we were comfortable. But then again, Liverpool just didn't really offer, especially after the Kirkes goal. Yeah, they definitely didn't offer a whole lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I think their only 2 good chances came within a minute of us scoring, and then I was just like, oh no, don't lose the lead again. But then, yeah, still after that, definitely the better team. And I don't know, like the one, I think Matoma came on and dribbled past about 4 players and pulled it back to Hinchwood, and I thought, that's it, that would have been it, and it was game over, 3-1, and then.
Just right behind it, and I'm just like, and then I don't know what the hell Hinchwood.
Yeah, I don't know what went to Hinchwood at that moment. But I'll pull it back before we get to the second half. But the Dunk moment, Brett, what do you think of that? Because a lot of people were obviously blaming Dunk. I personally was in the camp of like, yeah, I think he does it so often, saves us so often. And I thought the run from Kirkes, he's obviously done his homework there, and he's read it very well.
Yeah, that's exactly the point I was going to make. He's read it well. Like, I think maybe like from the West Upper, everyone saw him Kirkes making that run, and like, don't head it back, and he did. So I can see why people blame Dunk for. I said like he's done it so many times and it's worked. And then I think even maybe like 10 minutes later, he tried to chest it back to Verbruggen, and Verbruggen made an amazing save.
Yeah.
He's got to keep doing it. Otherwise, why change a game? Just for one mistake. And he said, like, this season he's been brilliant. So for one mistake and a game that we won, so I'll forgive him.
Rest of the game as well. Yeah. Like people obviously going to talk about that. Which, as we said, I don't think it's necessarily a mistake or anything. But rest of the game, defensively, we were so good, and that includes Dunk, that includes Van Hecker. Obviously, he was fuming by the end of the game because he's now out for 2 games.
Did you see him go down the tunnel at the end?
Yeah. I actually had to run. I had to run.
Did you see him?
So I just went straight at full time.
Yeah, he was fuming when he went down there. I thought, what's happened there? It took me a minute to like realise why he would be angry, because obviously he now missed the next 2 games, which it's long enough waiting for the next game, let alone thinking about missing the next 2 games.
Yeah, so it's 20 days till our next game, and then so if he's missing another 2, it's probably like 5 weeks he's out.
Yeah, he's not playing for a month.
But luckily it's Burnley and Tottenham away, so we don't really need our best defence.
Easy 6 points, that is.
Relegation threatened Tottenham.
To be fair, wouldn't it be so funny to all but send them down? If we can put them right amongst it, if West Ham can pick up some points, we can really put some pressure on them at their place.
Yeah, Villa let the nation down yesterday.
Yeah, they did really.
That win.
West Ham point would have been enough just to really put pressure on. But
there would have been level on points for them, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
pretty sure.
Yeah, level on points. I think it's just goal difference.
Yeah, they're about 11 goals behind, I think.
Yeah, because West Ham was so bad at the beginning of the season. But I don't know. I don't think that 11 goals is that much to Tottenham at the minute. How many have they conceded since Tudor took over?
Yeah,
they've conceded so many goals. I mean, what was it, 7 in the Champions League? I would not be surprised if they do throw away a hatful. They conceded 3 to Forest, let's remember. Forest couldn't hit a barn door before that game. So, I don't know. I think they are very bad.
I think I've read somewhere they've lost 22 games this season.
They've only won one at home since like the beginning of the season, if I'm right in saying.
Oh no, we got them next time.
Yeah, true. And that was Burnley, I think. So they've only... Yeah, they've not won in 2026. I know this isn't a Tottenham podcast, but it's so hard not to talk about how bad they actually are.
Because it is so funny.
It is really funny.
So funny.
Imagine that ground in the Championship.
I think it would be the biggest thing to ever happen to the Premier League, apart from Leicester winning it. Like if Tottenham got relegated.
Yeah, you might be right.
That is a good debate.
Because to be fair...
Open up a can of worms.
No, but to be fair, the last time that they got relegated, I think it was like in the 50s or 60s. I think they've only been relegated once in their history, basically. So I saw a Chelsea fan say it, that if they relegated them at Stamford Bridge, which is really possible, they said it would be the equivalent of winning a trophy because of how much of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity it is. Imagine doing it to Palace, it'd be great fun. But let alone a big 6 team that's got, they signed Kudus for like 50 million. They signed Xavi Simons for 60 million. So that team's not cheap. They could be in serious trouble if they went down.
And half of their signings have been... complete ass. They've just honked and they've been so poor. I know the team as a whole has been really, really bad, but their signings have been so poor. Like Kolo Muani, just been terrible. So long.
And everyone blamed the managers as well.
Yeah.
That's the mad thing. It was all Frank's fault at first, and then it was all Ange's fault before that, and then now it's all Tudor's fault. I think they've got serious problems.
It was Levy's fault and he's gone.
Yeah, Levy's fault and he's gone. Like, they are in trouble. And I can hear that shout. It could be the biggest thing. Because I'm just thinking of, obviously, Arsenal Invincibles was pretty cool, but then the amount of draws they got, when you look back on it, that it's not as impressive as perhaps it sounded at first. It's still impressive, but it's still not. I think Chelsea's, they conceded like 15 goals in the season.
Man City, 100 points.
100 points, yeah.
Still bigger than that, I think.
Oh no, here we go. We're gonna have all the Arsenal fans in the comments.
But if they went down, it would be hilarious. But I think the Centurions still, for me, are the best, like the most impressive achievement, personally.
Well, the most impressive achievement is Leicester.
Yeah. Well, apart from Leicester, like obviously Leicester's a miracle. It's like if putting that on miracle status, I think the next thing achievable down is City getting 100 points from it.
Who was it? Was it Rory Talks Football said that if Arsenal win the league, it would be better. It would be a bigger achievement than Leicester winning.
That's just ridiculous.
And I was like. Yeah, that's got to be rage bait,
That's ridiculous.
surely.
That's ridiculous. I could do a whole podcast on Arsenal as well, to be honest. But here we are. Okay, let's get back to Brighton. Sorry. So, yeah, a decent first half, I'd say. I didn't go into the first half thinking that was terrible or anything like that. I thought it was all right. We obviously won, I thought that's probably fair. Maybe Liverpool edged it in the balance of the game. They had the ball most and whatever. But I think overall, I was pretty happy with it. I won't blame Dunk too much either. I thought it was one of those ones. But the second half, I thought we started as we meant to go on. As soon as we came out onto that second half, we were brilliant, pretty much. I didn't think that Liverpool offered anything. I didn't really get worried that they were going to do anything either, to be honest. They were just so poor.
Yeah. All they were doing is trying to get Minte sent off, and that was their plan. But maybe he was a bit lucky to... I don't think the yellow card was a yellow card, but then...
Yeah.
There was kind of a dive in the box going for a penalty. I thought, he might be going.
Yeah, I thought the dive was worse, to be fair.
I thought so, yeah. But then second half, he was good until he actually couldn't walk. So, yeah, definitely the better team and created the best chances. And, yeah, just infuriating we didn't win by more.
The work rate of Minte is ridiculous.
He absolutely skinned Frimpong every time. And I think Frimpong's very, very good.
Yeah.
And he didn't have an answer at all. The amount of times was just like a long ball. And Frimpong, it's not like he's slow or anything. Like, he is very quick. But he was just, every single time, he was just in front of him and he always got to the ball and was just doing him every time. And then, obviously, they brought him off. I can't even remember who they brought on for him. But they
Robertson, maybe, I think.
Robertson came on.
Yeah, but he went to the other
as
side,
well.
didn't he? I think they moved Szoboszlai back into his position. And then they had Graven by the end of the game. They had Gravenberg in centre back. I was like, "What is going on with their defence?" I was like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, Minte just. I mean, I didn't want him to come off, but my god, he needed to because he must have been absolutely.
I think there was one moment where I think it was about the 70th minute. He went to go burst forward again, and he thought, "Oh, actually, maybe not." I think he passed it backwards, and then I think that was that, and then he got subbed off. But throughout that whole game, he was brilliant. I thought of all the players that stood out. Obviously, Van Hecker was class, and so was James Milner.
James,
but
what a legend!
I couldn't overlook Minte. Obviously, Welbeck got the headlines. But without Minte, I don't think Welbeck would have got his 2 goals, to be honest. I thought he kept everything alive. He started every attack. He was back. He was forward, sorry. He was great. Electric performance. It's what we kind of expected from him from the beginning of the season. I've always wondered where he's been in the last sort of weeks, but just to have another winger actually available now, hopefully that means Mitoma is back for good, and we finally get to see Minte and Mitoma together, because I just don't see any reason why that's not one of the best wing partnerships in the league, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree completely with that. And then, just when Mitoma came on, he was so good as well. And but going back to Minte, the cross for the second goal. I didn't even celebrate the goals. I just thought it was offside.
Me neither.
I was just like, that's off.
Because Welbeck wasn't celebrating. No. And I was just like, just turning around and I was like, what's the point? Everyone was like, why aren't you celebrating? And I was like, because he's clearly offside, isn't he? He's like, you would be
Do you
doing
reckon
that
he
if
was
wasn't
off?
offside.
Do you think he was?
He was behind.
I'll be honest with you. I think he was. But do I care? Not really.
I think I'm with you. I'm still like, I know that it's been given onside. But I'm looking back at it, and I still think he's off. Like I'm still expecting that not to be given. If you know what I mean. When I watch it back,
did the ball get passed backwards? And
it got passed backwards, but he was in front of him.
It definitely looked like he was in front of him.
He definitely looked like he was in front of him.
It was the one out against Fulham where he was offside by his shirt sleeve or whatever it was.
The Fulham one was harsher. I think. I think if that one got ruled out, I think the Fulham one would have been made to look harsher still than that one. But I don't know. I saw something, apparently there's like a 5 centimetre rule or whatever, like leeway. But I don't know how implemented that is yet.
5
centimetres.
Liverpool
Liverpool
game is
game.
not far at all, though, when you think about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, seriously, for once, at least we got a bit of luck.
Yeah,
it wasn't
true,
someone
true.
else.
True.
Crystal Palace.
I was going to say you're all right then. But I'll talk about Danny Welbeck, obviously, because, I mean, that's... I said I could do an hour's podcast on Tottenham. I could do an hour's podcast on Danny Welbeck. For me, I've said it for years, but I think he's a Brighton legend. I don't think it's unpopular anymore.
No, it's not.
And if it is, then I don't know what else he can do. 50 goals, is it now? He's 12 goals this season.
That's 50 or 51.
There you go. and he won behind being our top scorer in the Premier League in one season. Obviously, Murray got 13.
Yeah.
He's now got 12. He's got plenty of time to catch that up. I could reasonably see him hit him at least 15 at this rate, maybe more.
Yeah.
He's 35 years old.
Yeah.
Why is he not in the England call-up? I don't know.
Jason Steele, though. It's all good.
We'll get on to Jason Steele. But at the minute, Welbeck, I just struggle to think of any world where he shouldn't be on the plane, and 2, where he's not Brighton legend. That's just me.
Absolutely. He bullied Canate, didn't he? And everything, he beat him for everything. And even the first goal, he out jumped him, and then the first thing Van Dijk did was within half a second was appeal for fouls when it clearly wasn't.
Yeah.
He was just moaning and moaning.
They were all surrounding him, and I was literally I have absolutely no idea what they're moaning about. I mean, I know obviously. As a Brighton fan, you're going to be like, "Oh, why are they complaining?"
Yeah.
But I genuinely, even watching it back, I'm like, I do not see what they're moaning about there, because he's just jumping. It's not like he's pushing.
No, yeah, there's nothing in that. Well, Kunata just completely lost it.
Yeah, but you know, if he'd fallen flat on his face, they would have probably given it a foul. Because that is just.
But mate, the whole move, he was just absolutely lost. If I was a Liverpool fan watching that game and my back four were as disjointed as they were, I mean, at times they had Frimpong so high. And that battle, as I said, with Minte was so good to watch, because Minte quite often had the best of him. I thought Frimpong did all right at times, but in the first half, I mean. But then after that, he was just lost completely. And I don't think it helped that they were so sort of disgruntled. But I guess it's credit as well to our attack, because I think on the right side we had Gomez, and I never personally liked Gomez on the right. Really, I think he's just a weird player, to be honest. Gomez, I like him. I don't get me wrong, I do like him, but he's so hard to read as a footballer. Sometimes the ball cannons off his foot, and I'm like, where's that going? The next minute he'll do something pretty good, but one thing I can't knock is his work rate. And I think on the left obviously was Minte, and then you've got the likes of Welbeck in the middle. I think Hinchelwood was there as well. And I think on paper, you look at that and you think that's a bit of a weird front four, especially when you've got like Mitoma, Jorginho, etc. on the bench. And then obviously got Milner sitting. That midfield just is a really odd midfield if you think about it. But it worked really well. And I suppose there's an element of stability about it that's not completely glamorous. But it's all these players are pretty experienced, minus Minte, who's obviously that live wire on that side. And they're you know what you're going to get out of all of them. They're all pretty Mr. Consistence across the board, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think Hinchelwood and Gomez playing where they are fits like Fabian's style of play, where you win the ball high up the pitch. As I think even Fabian said that Hinchelwood's really defensive right up the top, which is what he wants to win the ball back. Though I still think Hinchelwood's one of the best first-time finishers at the club, but.
Until the last
until that thing earlier, but winning the ball high up the pitch is kind of our thing, isn't it? So Gomez's work rate on chasing the ball when we lose it is second to none, and Hinchell was the same. He's just what do they call him, the agent of chaos or something?
Yeah.
And then it's just breaking up their defence and then winning the ball high up and then hopefully creating a chance is what we've been going for. So that's probably why they're in, but. If Mitoma and Minte are both fit, I'd pick them over Gomez. But then it's the work rate there. Like Minte's is still good, but Mitoma, he's not that great a defender. But going forward, he's our best, most exciting player. So
I much prefer Gomez playing in behind like Welbeck. Yeah. Like it's just it's definitely his better position. Obviously, his work rate is still ridiculous. But if you're playing,
I agree.
If you're playing Mitoma. I just think move him into the middle if you still want to play him, or you just like chop and change between the two. I mean, he's not got blistering pace, has he? Let's put it that way. But I mean, he'll still run, he'll still go after everything. I just don't really like him on the wing.
I agree. I think he works sort of coming inside, inverting. He's quite good at that. But I think when he's on the outside, obviously, you're not expecting him to really take on anyone and put a ball across. I think more often than not, he does sort of cut back in because he doesn't. It's natural coming inside. And say with Weaver, to be honest, as well. I've always said, it's not Weaver had a good game, but whenever he gets the ball, he just wants to come back inside, and you can just tell as soon as he's on the ball. But saying that, I do agree. If Mitoma is fit and Minte is fit as well, naturally they are the starting wingers. Like, you can't really dispute that, I don't think. And as good as Minte's been on the left, he switched back over to the right. You put Mitoma on the left. And I think between them, there's more than enough there. If you're consistent enough with performances, and we'll get onto that as like a final piece about consistency, because that's going to be the biggest teller, I think. But in terms of what the evidence that I've seen in that game, I think there's definitely more. There's more. What's the word? Positives probably to come from that game as an overall performance, especially going forward, than you would have seen, say, for example, at Sunderland, where a big portion of that game was parking the bus, and that kind of sat across a lot of our wins recently. And I thought, you know what? If we're just going to go stable to get games over the line, score, sit back, then fine. Although that is kind of how the Liverpool goal came about, to be honest. We scored, sat back, and then we invited pressure for 10 minutes, and then it was only really going to end one way when you got players as good as they've actually got physically, individually. But one thing I'll say, actually, obviously the style of play worked better. I think the style of play worked better. As I say, it complemented the likes of Welbeck, it complemented Minte, and I think you saw the best out of everyone. As I say, it really helped that Liverpool's back four was diabolical. But with that being said, it was an impressive performance. And obviously it was a big conversation. I think the last time we were on this podcast was, I think we were in pretty bad form. We had just lost to Arsenal was the last one. So we had won the game previous, and then we'd lost to Arsenal sort of marginally. It was a weird game. Do you think that there's something that's changed, Luke, in the squad, in the manager and the style of play, or do you think that something's clicked, or is it a case of stability wins?
No, I feel like it's more something's clicked, but I mean the style of play on Saturday was just so much better. But then again, you speak about Arsenal, and I think we actually got quite unlucky against Arsenal, to be honest. Obviously, not getting the penalty, but we're not going to go on about it like Arsenal fans would go on about Declan Rice's red card from 2 years ago.
Yeah, they still bring that up,
Yeah, I know.
think Cecil brought that up to me literally like last week. I was like, mate, this happened like 2 years ago. Now, what are you on about?
Get over it. Like, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Like we got
1-1 draw at the start of the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, literally.
We got done by VAR against Palace, but we got over it about 2 weeks later. We don't bring it up anymore. Get over it. But I kind of lost my train of thought, to be honest.
Stability, does it?
Stability. There you go. I mean, it's weird because I wouldn't even say like it was just stability or sitting back or like holding on to that lead, because we really went for it. And
it was more fluid. That's, I guess, what I'm saying about stability. It was more fluid. I'm saying the consistency across the performers, compared to saying your young players, for example. I don't think, like, for example, Baleba, Jorginho, Minte on his own, probably, without the sort of guard of having, your more, I guess, experienced players. I don't know, this is just me watching the game, but clearly Hertzler's style of play suits a more senior squad than if he was to have, say, this young team, which that is a bit of a weird one when you're a Brighton manager, because obviously ultimately Brighton are a young player team. That's kind of like a whole thing. So, we like to raise young talent, and I think that's one thing we definitely have not done in the last sort of 2 years. We just aren't that now, and I think that's what we kind of have to accept. If it's a case of we are now like, we sign players now that are in their primes or just past their primes, and we try and punch above our weight, kind of like Everton is how I describe it. Do you think that that's a good thing for Brighton?
Yes and no. Like, with the older players, it's kind of not really a sustainable model for a whole season, like relying on Welbeck, Gross, Milner all to be fit for like back-to-back games. But like I said, we didn't change the team for the last game, and I think there's only 3 times Hertzler's ever not changed a team, and one was Brentford and Forest a couple of games before. So it doesn't. The stability thing is a good thing, but with the age of some of the players we got, I don't know how sustainable it is. Like you said, we're a club based on building talent, raising talent, and then selling them on, and that's probably now like I've slated Hertzler a bit, like of how we played and the results we got, but now the results have improved, and now the performances have improved. The only thing that hasn't improved is, as you said, like nurturing young talent. And if that's going to happen, then maybe that would mean a parting of company. I don't know, but because if our whole business model is nurturing talent and we're not doing it, then he's not the right man for the job. But he's actually doing a really good job on field, and we kept being inconsistent. We kept losing games, throwing away points and drawing, and now we're not. So he's definitely, something's clicked. And like after that Palace and Everton game where he was getting all kinds of abuse, I didn't think there was any way back for him, and now he's turned it around. So fair play to him. Yeah.
Speaking on like the age thing,
Yeah.
and I was to bring it up earlier. It's so weird when you see like who we had in the middle. Like on Saturday, you have the Unks in Milner and Gross,
The unction.
and then you have Hitchelwood playing just in front of him, and somehow that midfield just clicked, and I don't know what it was, and they played so well together, and like a lot of people I think slated the obviously bringing Gross back. They were like, oh, you're just doing it just because he's a club legend, but I mean, I wouldn't say he's been up there and been the most incredible player in the world, but he just adds so much, I think, to the pit.
It's the mentality of winning as well.
Yeah, and
I
I think it's definitely helped us, like in the past few weeks. And obviously, we now have someone who can step into that role of like captain. I like Welbeck being like a vice captain, but you have that person who knows what it's like to win and knows what it's like who has that mentality for us, which I really, really like. And also, Hertzler, us two have been very critical of Hertzler, like in the past few months. But I've been critical of him just for the fact that he hasn't come up to the fans or anything, or after a game. Like he just goes straight down the tunnel. Come over and just give us a clap, even if we've played shit. Like just come over. But then the other day, you see what he was like. Just it's all you need just to connect with the fans a little bit more, because you do that. A lot of people were annoyed because we were playing badly, but when you don't show anything towards the fans and you don't make it seem like you care, like it's gonna completely end that relationship between you. But so many people have been like, okay, I'm getting more towards Hertzler in, and he just needs to show that a little bit more. Like when we win, when we lose, whatever. Just show a bit of passion and give us something back. Because I mean, you got pelters on Twitter for posting about it. They're like, oh, you were Hertzler out. You were Hertzler out 3 weeks ago. Just you were Hertzler out 3 weeks ago. Or we're not allowed to be happy that we won.
Do you know what? It makes me laugh.
You have to, like, if we're playing badly in whatever it was, 1 win in 14, of course you're going to be critical. And then now it's 4 wins out of 5, is it? I think, or 3 wins out of 4. And you're allowed to be happy, surely. You can be both.
But then if they've got a Brighton profile picture with the Amex as their header, they must know more than you. So I don't know. They never reply to any other logic.
I've got a picture of me and my real name as my Twitter handle. I've got so much to hide.
Stop being a troll.
Last time I got into an argument on Twitter, someone brought up how big my eyes are, and I was like, cheers, mate, thanks for that. I was like, great. I was like, I should probably change my profile picture, to be honest, it doesn't look like me.
Who cares? So what I was going to say is, one, you mentioned Pascal Gross. 2, I agree with what you said about Fabian. But I wanted to say about Pascal, because I think we're doing it all again. And I was trying to explain this after the game. You don't notice Pascal anymore because he came back. It was great for about 3 weeks. And then everyone's forgotten he even went. And I remember when he used to be here for ages, it'd be like, oh, Pascal's not actually been that good, is he? We'd sort of look over and be like, has Pascal been that good? I don't know, actually. I haven't really noticed him. Every single week. And he had a big divide across fan base. And people all love to pretend that didn't exist, didn't they? When he went, oh, he's a legend. But every week it was, oh, Pascal's not been that great. And what I wanted to say about Pascal is I think we're doing it again. I think we're doing exactly the same thing of taking him for granted. I think the amount of assists he's even got since he's come in is completely fine. And he must be doing something on the pitch to be warranting his place. As you said, I think his mentality is second to none, but the way he gets the club as well is second to none. But it just makes me laugh now, because I think it won't be long. I reckon at the end of the season, people will go, I don't reckon Pascal could do another year. I don't reckon Pascal, maybe be a bit more of a bit part player. I guarantee you, if he was to leave tomorrow everyone would realise it. And I think that's just what Pascal Gross is. He is continuously taken for granted. And I think he just always will be, because he's not fashionable. He's loved, but he's not fashionable. And I think all the time you're not a fashionable player, you just don't stand out and you get forgotten. It's just natural.
You say that, and it reminds me of a conversation I had, I think like 2 years before he left, when people were really in the sort of, let's get like Pascal out sort of brigade. It was actually coming back from Tottenham away. I think it was that absolute travesty game, because we spoke about that earlier. Yeah. But I just remember sitting on the tube with this drunk Brighton fan, and he was like, "Oh, what do you think of Pascal Gross?" So I was like, "I absolutely love him. I think he's one of our best players." And this bloke just started berating me and just going. I mean, he was drunk, so I was fine, just sort of laughing about it. And then he really, really, really showed that that his opinion was wrong when he went, "Robert Sanchez is one of our best keepers ever." I went, "Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but yeah." But
we got 25 million quid for him.
Oh my God, I wouldn't pay 25 quid for him, let alone 25 million.
I'll never forget, I got so much hate for saying Sanchez wasn't good enough as well. I got so much hate for that. I was like, he's not a good enough goalkeeper for us. I used to watch him and I thought, he is bad. I said the same about Matty Ryan. I just did not think he was a good player. Like, everyone loved him. And I was sitting on a podcast, I did not think Matty Ryan was a good goalkeeper.
I loved Matty Ryan.
I could have chipped Matty Ryan.
Yeah,
just got to get the ball higher than 6 foot. It's going to go over his head.
Yeah, that is a good point.
The same with Sanchez. He was massive, but he couldn't save anything. He was made of poppadoms. The ball just went through him.
Yeah, the amount of times I've watched him and he just flaps his hand at something is ridiculous.
Even yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Saturday, wasn't it? The goals that he conceded there.
Mate, it makes you realise Verbruggen's good.
Yeah.
It just does. And I think Cole Rushworth will be fine as well if Verbruggen does go. Verbruggen, don't get me wrong, he gives the ball away a fair bit, but he is so much better than Sanchez.
For Verbruggen, I feel it's definitely going to go in the summer. But we've got Rushworth, so I'm not too worried. And we've got England international Jason Steele, so it's all good.
I love Jason Steele. It's such a weird one, isn't it? I mean, what do you think of the call-up, Luke? Because I spoke to you, Brad. I need to post that video, actually. So it's going out in a minute.
They... I'm pretty sure I saw that he's in there to like get to know all the people in the camp, because I think they say they want him to help out as a coach, like in
makes
the summer,
sense, yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense. Like, he's such an experienced goalkeeper, and it, like, let's be honest, he's genuinely not that bad. And you see him in Sunderland Till I Die, like just before he came to us, and he was absolute crap, but. He comes to us. I don't think he's really ever put a foot wrong, to be honest.
I don't think there's a better example of mentality than Jason Steele, based on how he was at Sunderland and how much they all hated him. He's a Sunderland boy himself. So for all that, it must be pretty crazy. His career was over. Like, De Zerbi saved his career. If it wasn't for that, I think he would have just completely just been drowned out as a rubbish goalkeeper.
And it shows how poor Robert Sanchez is. When he gets pushed out of the team.
But he got dropped for Steele, and I think Steele got us Europe.
Yeah,
that's my genuine belief. I think Steele got us Europe, because without Steele, I don't think Duncan Colwell would have been anywhere near as effective playing De Zerbi ball. And Caicedo as well.
Yeah.
Even this season, like the cup games, Steele at Man United away, like the way just his passing and like releasing the ball like 10 times quicker than Verbruggen.
Yeah,
and we just look so much better going forward. And
it's ridiculous. It's like I remember when Colwell wasn't in the squad as well, and they brought him in, and then I think we brought him in a similar amount of time as Jason Steele, and like the way they played together was just so good because they were so comfortable on the ball, and obviously because we played that possession-based football, I thought it was just mesmerising to watch. And obviously in that period of time, he was the catalyst in the dressing room, getting everyone riled up. Because obviously we had such a young squad. You think about how young them players were then. And he was that guy to get everyone going. And I think even when De Zerbi left, it wasn't Adam Lallana and took coach. Adam Lallana took coaching after Graham Potter. I think Jason Steele stepped up when De Zerbi went as a bit of a leadership, because obviously lost Pascal as well. And then coming into Hertzler's reign, I think he's just constantly been that like background player. You've got obviously Milner and stuff, but as I said, I liked Milner and I liked Lallana, but they're not Brighton. Like, I don't think they get the club as much as someone like Jason Steele, Lewis Dunk, Van Hecke do. And I just love him. I think if he can go on to become a top coach, he was obviously really backed by top managers and all the time he's been here, and top coaches staff. So I don't see any reason why he can't, and I'm really happy for him. He deserves. I think he's one of them players that deserves this.
Yeah, it makes sense that if that is his role for the England camp, that I think Connor Cody's done it before in previous squads. Like, but when the graphic first come out, when the graphic first came out, the squad and it had Steele, I was like, is there a Steele, like a younger Steele that plays for like Sunderland, or like is there another Steele in goal? That can't be Jason Steele. I was like, oh bloody hell!
Yeah. I was working the night before. And I got back at like, I don't know, like 4:30, something like that. So I slept like through when the announcement was, and I woke up and I just saw congratulations to Jason Steele on his first England call up, and I woke up just like all groggy, and I saw that. I went, what the? I was like, what? I was like, surely not.
Yeah, I agree. It's mad, but the only one left is Welbeck for me. He has to be in the squad.
Oh my god,
he has to be in the squad.
Dom Solanke.
Dom
Solanke.
Like I would have Welbeck as a backup to Kane.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect. I could be a little bit biased, but I think as an overall player, I think Calvert-Lewin's had a good season. I agree, but I don't think that he's as well-rounded as Welbeck. I just don't. I think that the modern-day Welbeck, the Welbeck you see now, is not the Welbeck of 2016. Like, he is a very good player. He scores goals every week. He's just a consistent player for us. Even if he's not scoring, he's very good on the pitch and off it. Top guy, top mentality. I just don't see why you wouldn't want him in your squad.
Exactly. And like, I think when Eze pulled out the squad, I thought, Welbeck could get his chance, and then it was Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes. Not even Newcastle fans want Harvey Barnes in the squad.
But like, selfishly, as a Brighton fan, Welbeck's our only fit striker, so keeping him with us and not getting injured in a pointless friendly against Japan's, I'm all right with that. But as a player, he absolutely deserves to be on that plane.
Yeah, I agree.
And Calvert-Lewin's just weird. Anyway, he's really odd.
He's weird, but I think he has been good this year.
He has been good. But
you can't lie. He's got 10 goals.
He's an odd bloke.
Right,
very
let's
biased.
Get to some voice messages, videos, etc. The lovely little fan section we've got now. I don't know if I can call it fan zone, because it might be trademarked by BHAFC Limited.
I think every single club has a fan zone.
The fan zone. Anyway, this is Finn. Oh, I need to turn it up. Hang on a minute.
You can go and watch it on the terrace out there.
Yeah.
So, basically my thoughts about the season, our current form, is that people might be getting ahead of themselves a bit. Because we had this last season where we were just spiralling downhill. Then we turned it around, hit a big form. Then the international break just killed us somehow. So I don't think we should be people shouldn't be saying we're like actively in the European hunt unless we beat Burnley and Spurs. Only if we get 6 points from those games do I think we can be considered in the hunt for Europe, because
I'm just about to shut.
It's the inconsistency that kills us every time. You know, we get ahead, we think we're making progress, then we have a bad run of form, we don't win for 4 games. So, yeah, I think unless we continue where we left off after the international break, we're not really in the race for Europe.
I think I agree with him.
I don't.
Because I think this is the biggest thing over Hertzler, is consistency. Every single time, I nearly got converted once, and it was the Villa game. Do you remember that game at home? And I think we had just come on the back of 3 wins after being diabolical for ages. And then we won 2 or 3 games. We took a 2-0 lead against Villa, and I thought, here we go. Maybe I'm going to... Because we played so well in that first 20 minutes. And we lost 4-2. And I thought, 4-3, we scored late. I thought, oh, that's a weird one. So then I was kind of like, okay, we're back in inconsistency again. And then that's where I think the phrase consistently inconsistent came about on this podcast, which now everyone uses, which is really weird. But you say you don't agree?
I'll just say, under Fabian, we've always finished the season stronger in the last 10 games.
That's true.
And those games are coming up. And get your hopes up, because we're playing Burnley and Tottenham, who are terrible and down there. And I think if we do get 6 points out of those, which I know as a Brighton fan we probably won't, because the run of fixtures we just had, I don't think we were going to get maybe 3 or 4 points, and we've come out with 12.
Yeah.
So and now we're playing the teams at the bottom. I think, oh, yeah, it's definitely 6 points, and then we get none or one, don't we? But we've always finished the season stronger under Fabian, so I'm thinking that's his most consistent part of the season. And I still don't think we'll quite make Europe, but I still think we'll finish strongly.
To be fair, there's a lot of good teams now in there as well. You've got Everton and Sunderland obviously in pretty good form. But do you agree?
I just think he's being a bit of a killjoy, to be honest. Like, it's just like, people shouldn't be getting ahead of themselves. I don't think we're necessarily getting ahead of ourselves. We're not all shouting, "Oh my
I
God,
think if
we're
we were
getting
doing the
into
Europe again, then I would probably agree.
Yeah. That I really don't think we're getting ahead of ourselves. We're just enjoying actually winning some games, isn't it? Like, we've had such a poor season, and to see the way we played the past few games, like we are just, Finn, mate. Just let us have it, man. Cheer up, man.
I get what he said, but yeah.
Good cop, bad cop, innit? I'm
I
always
get what
like
he's
this.
saying. I get
just
what
so
he's
miserable.
Right, we've got one from Tilly again.
I thought we were excellent on Saturday. I think it was a really top performance. I think Hertz's idea of high-intensity football was really exemplified. We got at Liverpool, we played some really good football, and individuals shone as well, the likes of Welbeck, Minte. And it's just so refreshing to have consistency of an unchanged lineup. I think we look like such a good unit at the moment, and we are the informed team. And I just hope the international break doesn't dampen our momentum. I remember last year we were off the back of 6 wins and a good draw away to Man City, and then came back against Forest in the Cup and we started to drop off. So I hope we can just carry on the form and really challenge for those European places.
Do you think we're the form team?
Well, we're actually second in the form table at the moment. I'm pretty sure Arsenal at top, but we're talking about actual performances. Then definitely not.
Top on results.
I know. I'm pretty sure we're second in the form table, and you can probably guess who's right at the bottom. We definitely are the form team, and we are the team to beat. Coming into the end of the season, and our running is really not that difficult. To be fair. Our running.
That's true. There's a lot of. I think isn't it Spurs have the worst running? Am I right in saying that?
I'm pretty sure. City got pretty difficult.
All roads lead back to Tottenham, isn't it? But
they do. Our running is not too difficult. I think out of like the top 6. Have we only got to play? United and Chelsea, haven't we?
Yeah, and that's right at the end of the season as well. The United game.
Yeah.
That is the last game of the season. Isn't it?
Hopefully things could be all done and dusted. Although to be fair, how tight the league is this year might not be. But Chelsea for sure is going to be one of them 6-point games. Isn't it?
We're only 5 points off them at the moment.
But that's going to get moved. That game because it's Cup semi-final weekend and they got Port Vale at home in the quarters.
Oh my God, it'd be so funny if Port Vale get through.
All right, let's get with Alex. He sent
a
video.
As with Tilly, I agree with her. Like the intensity we showed from the start of the game won us that match. So I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah. Right, Alex.
Mate, I'm just wondering if we do end up getting Europe at the end of the season, which is a big ask. But if we do end up getting Europe, do we sack Hertzler? Is he the right man for Europe, whether it's Conference League or Europa League? Because I think Champions League is too far now. But if we do get Conference League, is Hertzler the right man for the job? Because we've seen he can go through a difficult period and continue in that difficult period. But then recently he has bounced back. So, just a quick one, but I'd like to know your thoughts. It is our hope for the rest of the season. And obviously he said the goal was Champions League. That's too far now, I think. But, do we sack him? Do we bring in someone else? That Bodo Glimt manager, Knutsen, I think his name is, he seems to be really great in Europe. He'd be great to have. But do we trust in Hertzler still? We are that type of club. Cheers.
Cheers. I don't think you can sack him if he gets Europe.
If he gets us to Europe with this squad and that on the back of that recruitment of the last couple of windows, he absolutely deserves a chance.
And all the injuries as well. Like you've got to at least give him the chance.
Yeah,
I do like what he's saying about Knutsen, because you see how good Bodo Glimt are. I mean, they did bottle it completely.
Yeah, that's sporting.
But they. Clearly, he is such a great manager, and I'm pretty sure we were looking at him before we actually got Hertzler in.
I heard that he isn't ever leaving Bodo because he gets 10% of all transfer.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, they must love him, must they? I wouldn't be
To be fair,
surprised.
that's probably one of the best contract clauses of all time. Why would you leave? Especially if the club keeps growing. But yeah, I don't think you can sack a manager if they achieve the goal. Then that's the goal, isn't it? I mean, it depends on what the club see as in their reviews, but I don't think they will. If I'm honest, I just can't see that happening.
I think his only stumbling block is nurturing young talent.
I agree. Yeah, it depends on how much they value that. That's kind of why I posed the question. Like, do they value Belabor becoming 100 million? Do they value Bonanotte, etc.? That's right. We've still got this one, haven't we? You know,
Which one went?
yeah. You know, do we value these players? Basically, I don't know. We'll see. Right, final one from Yarley. He's apologised for his English, but I'm sure it's absolutely fine.
I think Brighton has looked very, very good versus Liverpool and we play amazing. And we can see that Fabian has changed his game plan. And I love this. And we need to keep steady with this 11. And if we do it, we can win more games. Next Burnley, we must take it. It's 3 points we need. And if we keep playing like this 11, maybe Milner down the bench, but I'm not sure. I love how he played, but Welbeck just better. And if we keep playing like this, we can get you, boys. I believe in the team. I believe in Fab, and I believe in all of us. Let's just take it. Very love the team. Play amazing. Next Burnley. Let's see what happens. Come on, Seagulls.
Nice. So basically reading between the lines of... by the way, his English was absolutely fine. I can understand everything you said there. It's no problem. So I think he's just saying about the got to keep the side the same, unchanged as it has been. It's working.
Yeah, obviously Dunk can't play the next two, but I think the mixture of old and young is working, and I think you said there's 20 days till our next game, so everyone's going to get plenty of rest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Then we might start having a few midweek games with like the Chelsea game being moved and whatever. But yeah, if we have a more consistent lineup and he doesn't keep tinkering stuff every game, well, there's every chance that we can play well and perform better.
Can Milner get us Europe?
He is, to be fair, he has been very, very good the past month or so, and he was just he was so good the other day.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
I'd love to see 41-year-old James Milner
outrunning Wirtz, by the way. Completely outrunning Wirtz.
He was so good, wasn't he?
I think he ran
so
more
well.
than all three of their midfielders put together. I think
not
someone
surprised.
put on, but it's good. Like Milner, like now he's not just coming on for the last 60 seconds. Like he's getting to stamp his mark on the game, and he's looking a good player, which is where we signed him, I guess. Yeah.
Finn, be more like Yarley. He was he was absolutely buzzing.
Well, there you go. No, I think it was a good podcast, good episode. Talks about everything, really. 3-week break now.
What are we going to do? What do people do on the weekend when they don't like football?
We've got to
Honestly,
watch
I don't
England
understand.
play. Who we got? Who's England got?
Japan and Uruguay.
Are they actually?
Uruguay,
Are they friendlies though?
Yeah.
I'm not interested.
What is the point? Honestly?
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Can't be asked.
Get a bit of a warm up for the World Cup.
Jason
but-
Steele won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine
That's
that.
the
Yeah,
only
it's not
one.
Jason Steele against Matoma now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
I was
something?
trying to work out when the last Brighton player to play for England was. I don't know.
Will
Like
it
in
be
the World
better?
Cup squad, this is.
In the World
Yeah,
Cup,
yeah.
I don't have a clue because it's not been in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, unsurprising that. Isn't it?
Yeah. So maybe Steve Foster or someone.
Well,
like
I
back
think
in
it's
the
him.
80s,
That's the
but
name I
yeah.
was thinking of. I think it is Steve
It's
Foster.
all right. It's all right. We had the best Brighton defender of all time in Ben White in the Euro squad.
Yeah.
He was never that good for us, and I'm going to stand by that.
Oh wow, that's
And
unpopular.
he was never that good for us. He was all right, but he wasn't.
He was all right.
He wasn't the most amazing player ever, and I still think he's not been that amazing for Arsenal. And I just think he's a bit of a bellend.
Well, you might not like him if he came back in the summer, but we'll see.
I don't want it I think he's a
enough.
knob.
He doesn't even like football, does he?
No, he's
that's
so weird. That's what I mean, right? He's such a bellend. But don't get me started.
Fair enough. Well, we'll see. I mean, Matoma certainly loves the game against him, that's for sure.
I love Matoma,
Yeah.
but not him.
Fair
Shame
enough.
Dunk didn't get in the squad because it could have been Matoma versus Dunk at
Dunk
Wembley.
was
Could you
in the
imagine that? That'd be brilliant.
Dunk was in the Euro
Yeah,
squad last year,
yeah.
wasn't he?
Ironically,
Yeah.
after probably the worst season he's had in the last
Yeah,
10 seasons,
true,
he actually
true.
made the squad.
True. Yeah, true. Well, we'll see what happens,
Yeah.
but I think it's got to be Welbeck for personally,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We said that enough times. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully Tuchel's watched. I
He's-
believe he was at the game yesterday.
I
is
bet,
what
I,
everyone was
bet you,
saying.
I bet you he's not going to pick him. He just
But
won't.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I just think
Um,
that against Liverpool, both squads, there was only one England international, and that was Jason Steele on the bench.
Yeah, that's mad, isn't it? Yeah, I suppose it's true. That's crazy. Didn't think of that. Yeah, Liverpool are nowhere near what they were at all. It'll be interesting to see when we come up against a side that's fighting a bit. I mean, the good thing is at the end of the season, you're against sides that are half sort of checked out, a few of them, if they are safe. Obviously, Burnley are probably pretty done, aren't they?
Yeah,
But
well, United
Tottenham
are
will be
probably
scrapping.
fine as well.
Yeah, United, I think United are a good team at the moment, to
Yeah.
be fair. But we'll see. It's a long way off yet. You've got 3 weeks. So
Just
it's
remembered
hard to think
another thing
far
that
ahead.
absolutely baffled me from the Liverpool game. Their kickoff in the first half.
Oh my god!
Do you know what?
I actually
the
like
fuck was
it
that about?
because it put pressure on us straight away.
Did it?
Not,
They just booted it in the
I
corner.
thought
went
what
for it.
nonsense.
Yeah.
it gave them a throw in so high up the pitch. I reckon they stop it though.
Great rugby, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the tactic. I think they fire the
Territory.
ball right up to as far up that end of the pitch so that they can put as many people in your half straight away. But
Didn't work.
it didn't really work. If they had a bit more intensity, guys, then maybe it would have worked. All right, I think that's everything. Yeah.
It's just nice being positive. I get loads of pelters saying I'm always negative.
Yeah,
on-
you get a lot, you know. I found that baffling that you keep getting the negative thing. I thought, if anything, you're like
the
pretty
positive one out of
upbeat.
us two. Eh?
It's,
Yeah,
it's all right.
100%.
It's all right. I'm
Yeah,
back on the
yeah.
podcast now. So you got,
Yeah.
you got me saying Ben White's a bellend and telling one guy to shut up. So
But
I'm sorry,
that's-
Finn. I don't actually mean it. I do.
It's just nice talking off the back of wins. So.
Yeah, no, it is. It's very refreshing, isn't it? And I say it's nice talking about, especially players, to say like Welbeck and stuff, where they are back in good form. And having Mitoma back in the side always gives me a reason to be positive because I just love watching him play. But yeah, it's nice to be back. And yeah, long 3-week break now, isn't it? But we'll see you, after the Burnley game,
Yeah.
which is, if you're like me, I can't think that far ahead. So we'll see you then. Thank you for joining me.
Cheers.